All right, guys. UFC 262 this weekend was a big card. We got a couple fights cut out from it, but
Unfortunately.
still a great card. Uh, we haven't done a video in a little bit. Life, busy stuff.
And ones that got
But
cut from this it was Nate and Leon.
mhm.
There was one
that,
more
that
aside from that. I
was a bit. There's another one in the prelims, but I don't remember that one.
think it was supposed to be good, but now I'm also forgetting. But anyways, I think it's still a pretty stacked card, man. Obviously the main event and co-main event highlights of the shows, but they got some really good other fights to keep an eye on. I mean, just last week kind of shows you, when the main event fell through, and so they ended up doing Watterson versus the other female versus Rodriguez instead of Dillashaw and Sandhagen. It was still a pretty eventful night of fights. So
Was
like,
it was sad to see Cowboy that weekend, but
fuck, man, it's hard to yeah, Cowboy had a rough go last weekend, but it's okay. We'll see what he chooses to do. You're actually gonna miss this weekend as well, aren't you?
I'm being a wedding, so
Yeah, fake fan. It's all right, bro. It happens.
Hey, let's jump into these fights. We have the first fight kicking off the main card is Shane Burgos versus Edson Barboza. Um, Shane is the favorite on this card, on this fight at -120, where Edson is uh the underdog at +100. Your thoughts, man?
This is a tough one to call. Just from Edson Barbosa is such a legend, man. He's been around so long. He's got amazing kicks. He dropped down to 45, obviously. But Shane Burgos, I was very pleased to watch. I confuse him often with Mike Michel Ferreira, the dude who does the flips and stuff, because to me they kind of look like. But Shane Burgos, I think with Josh Emmett had such a badass fight in their last fight and the punches that he took was unreal to the point where
He lost that fight decision, didn't he? He
yeah,
lost
yeah,
that fight.
Josh Emmett, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, it was a really close fight. They both took some huge shots. Normally, I would go Edson Barbosa against, maybe a non-ranked fighter like this, but I'm thinking, just because Barbosa's been around so long, I'm starting to think I'm gonna go Shane Burgos on this one.
you got Shane. And which way? TKO
So
decision.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to a decision. His Edson's last fight was against Makwan Amirkhani, October 2020. And he started to slow down a little bit towards the end. So I think he might take the first round or something because he comes out with all those leg kicks and stuff. But Shane Burgos just gonna eat him because that boy's the chin on him. Just in general, the damage he takes is unbelievable. I think he'll pull away 2 and 3 and just get the unanimous decision.
So you got Shane winning this one. I got Edson winning this one, beating it 2 in a row.
Understandable. Yeah.
Decision win. Uh, I know he's the last 4 years, 5 years has just had a down downslope spiral in his career. His
Yeah, it's
last
been
fight,
tough.
hmm I
After
believe he
losing
was
to a lot of those main killers like Gaethje and whoever else, his
Gate
career was starting
and
to go down after that.
yeah,
But
but
I mean,
yeah,
that's a crazy way to start the main card. Honestly, I think this should swap with the bantamweight fight, the Schnell versus Bontorin, because who the fuck are those guys? Um,
they they got moved up from the prelims, so
I get it, but why are they the feature fight? Put them as the opener and put Shane Burgos and Edson Barbosa up there. But
they
whatever.
they 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 make the rules, we don't.
Yeah,
So
big facts.
this one we're both split. So you have Shane, I have Edson,
Yes, sir.
and decision wins on both our decisions. Moving on to the female fight of the card, we have Caitlin Chikagian and Vivian. I don't understand her last name. Arjo?
Araug Arujo, probably Arujo, I guess.
I'm gonna call her Vivian.
Um, there you go. Yeah, Vinny.
uh,
Um,
So on this one here, we have Chikagian as the favorite at -140, where Vivian is the underdog at +120. I believe this is it's not the biggest split. Honestly, everybody in this card is almost
pretty even.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird
I
that
know.
it's only 140 to 125. I would think Chukagian would have much higher favorite, but maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Kagan, she is coming off a win against Cynthia. Car something, right?
Calvillo, or
Yeah, that's it.
is it,
Um,
or was her last fight Jessica Andrade when she lost to the body shot? No, you're
I
right.
thought
Yeah, Cynthia Calvillo she
yeah,
beat after the Andrade fight.
yeah, she beat her via decision,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the
and
Andrade thing. I mean, Chukagian's good. You know, she got all the way up to fighting Valentina. Did decent in that fight. Wasn't able to get the W because who does against Valentina unless your name's Amanda Nunez? Um, and she's a good gatekeeper for the top three, I guess. She's never gonna beat Valentina. She'll always go like in and out against 1 and 2. But a lot of these other girls, they're not gonna be able to beat her, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think Vivian is either. I think Vivian's got really good striking. And normally she would have a chance, but Caitlin's a really big girl as well. 5'8", Vivian's only 5'3". I think Chukagian's going to put on a clinic of just wrestling her, and she'll be able to control this fight. Unanimous decision, Caitlin Chukagian for me.
so yeah, I'm going decision, but I'm going Vivian in this one. Just, I mean, this is her sixth fight. She only lost to Jessica I in a UFC, so and
Right.
she only has 2 losses in her whole record.
Hmm.
Um, she's an up and comer. I got Vivian winning by decision on this one.
I get it. Yeah, very likely she's coming up. She's going to try to make a name for herself, but Chukagian's she's a big girl. You know, it's not easy to keep her off of you. Jessica Andrade, you know, got her with that good body shot, fucked her up. But aside from that, it's very hard. Even Valentina struggled with her, I think, in just the first round. Then after that, she got her footing right. But we'll see about that one. So far, we're split down the middle on those two. Moving up to the third one, we got Matthew Schnell and Rogerio Bontorin, whatever, however you say his name. I'm gonna just this coming up from the earlier fights. Like I said, I was hoping this would open the main card to have it up here. It's gonna be entertaining either way. I got Rogerio with submission. He's got 11 submission wins. I think he'd be a fool not to go with that, but anything can happen, obviously. But yeah, I'm gonna go with him getting a submission in the second round, third round. I'll say third round.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say we like we're literally split down the middle of this card because I have Matt winning by decision in the second round on this one.
Damn.
He is coming off a 2-fight win. This is his second fight of the year, I believe it is. He lost his fight I think he's on a 1 or 2 fight win streak. Lost his fight before that, and he's had like a 4 fight win streak before that. Where Ruggiero he lost his last 2 fights. Um, I'm going Matt on this one decision.
The only
Honestly.
thing for me is Schnell hasn't fought anyone big names, I guess. Like he fought Rob Font in 2016, lost that fight to KO. Rob Font's a savage. He's fighting Cody Garbrandt next weekend. Besides that, he beat Louis Smolka, which I don't know why the fuck Sugar Sean O'Malley's fighting Smolka, but that's for another argument. Jordan Espinoza, Tyson Nam was his most recent win. Like, okay. Now Rogerio, he hasn't necessarily beaten anybody more significant, but he's fought better fighters, I think. You know, he went to decision with Ray Borg. That's not easy to do. Ray Borg's a savage. He's a veteran of the game. He did lose to Kai Kara France, but that's a big name to lose to as well. I just think he's had a better experience, and like I said, 11 submission wins. Hard to count that out, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I believe Matt has 12 submission wins though.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Then it will be close, my friend.
It is going to be close. The books have this as the biggest split on the main card, actually.
8.
Matt
He's
at
got 8.
8. Okay.
Still
Matt,
good.
Matt as the favorite at -160, where Ruggiero is the underdog at +140. That being the biggest split on his whole card, dude. Like, that's
Makes sense.
crazy.
Makes sense.
That's crazy. So
Um,
through 3 fights, we're literally split down the middle.
mhm.
Um, moving on to the co-main event, the Bernil Dornish. Wow,
Benil Dariush.
Dariush, thank you, and Ferguson on this one. They have Ben as the favorite at -150 and Tony as the underdog at +130.
Fucking hell.
Bernil's on a fucking 6-5 win streak right now, and his last loss was back in 2018 against Hernandez. Does that sound right?
I couldn't tell you. Benil is very active. He fights a lot. Obviously, Tony's last 2 fights were losses in pretty dominant fashion for both of them. Gaethje beat the shit out of him, and then Oliveira controlled him for 5 rounds or however long. Yeah, 5 rounds.
Three rounds.
Was it a 3-rounder? Shit. Benil Dariush is entertaining, man. He comes back from adversity pretty well. Let me see, 1, 2. Yeah, his last loss was Alexander Hernandez, which is a weird loss for him because he should have beaten him in 2018. Since then, he's been on a fucking. He beat Drew Dober, Carlos Ferreira. He's beaten some really good people, and he's been
But
staying active.
he hasn't beat a big name like Tony though.
That's very
You know?
true. My my opinion on Tony Ferguson is that he might be done. And this will go into the main event too. After a fight like what Justin Gaethje did to him, it's hard to come back from that, especially someone who's been around as long as Tony has, someone who takes the damage Tony has. Tony's 37 years old. I think the Justin Gaethje beating him, he beat the shit out of him, and then Charlie Olives controlling him the way he did. I just think Tony's done. I don't know what he can go out there and do. I think it's a weird thing to say, but the more we pass him losing and stuff, and you go back and rewatch some of his wins, like he's always been entertaining, he's always been super talented, but then it's like, was he as good as we made him as the legend of Tony Ferguson? Which he is. He was on a crazy win streak. He did awesome, but I just think he's on that downward slope for his career. I think Benil Dariush is going to come out and beat him. I don't think he's going to knock him out. If Justin Gaethje couldn't do it, Benil Dariush is going to do it. He's not going to submit him because Tony Ferguson's got incredible jiu-jitsu, but I think he's going to get the better the exchanges, the better the grappling for those 3 rounds, and Dariush is going to win unanimous decision, in my opinion.
See, we're split again on this one, my brother. I got Tony by decision. I don't think he's gonna knock him out. I don't think he's gonna fucking submit him. I think it's gonna be a fucking split decision. Tony just did enough with his boxing and his fucking unorthodox style that he has, with his weird fucking spinning heel hook bullshit he does.
Yeah,
So,
Eminari roll.
yeah.
Throwing the
Yeah.
sand, all that weird shit.
So he is coming off to 2 losses to 2 fucking killers.
Yeah.
And both losses he's coming off of put the next person in line for the title. So I Tony is weird. His legend may be more made up than what we were pushing out to be. But dude, I think Tony gets his win easily, or gets a decision win on this one.
Yeah.
So
I feel you, and it is very likely, and I'd love to see that because I do enjoy watching Tony fight, and I get hyped when he fights. It's just fuck, man. When you watch somebody get controlled the way he did against Charles Oliveira, and then the way he got cracked against Justin Gaethje. Now, Benil isn't the striker that Gaethje is, and he's not the all-around fighter that Oliveira is, but he's really good. He's good under pressure, which is what Tony Ferguson does. He's in your face. He doesn't stop, and Benil seems to thrive with that. I think it'll be a good fight either way. I don't care who wins. I just want to see a good fight out of those two. But I think Benil is going to pull out the W. But we shall see.
Perfect. And then going on to the main fight of the card, we have Charles Oliveira versus Iron Michael Chandler. Bro, that's crazy that fucking Chandler gets a fucking
Title shot
title
after 1 win.
after one fucking win in the
I
UFC.
knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, after knocking out Dan Hooker. Honestly, it makes sense just the only for the reason that Dustin didn't want the title shot. He wanted to fight McGregor for the money fight. Good for Dustin. Make your fucking money, bro. Where Justin Gaethje falls in this, I don't know. I guess because he's coming off a loss and these two are coming off a win. They got to fight each other. But what does that mean for Justin? Does he fight Conor if he loses to Dustin or vice versa? Not sure. But in this fight, once again, I'm going to say that after that Justin Gaethje fight, we're starting to realize that Tony Ferguson is just not quite as good as we thought. And so, this is how we'll know. If Beneil Dariush storms through Tony, unanimous decision, controls him all 5 rounds, to me, that delegitimizes Charles's win over him. Because it's like, oh, if Beneil can do it, then it doesn't mean as much that you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, when Khamzat was fighting, Khamzat dominated some guy, took him down immediately, punched him like 100+ times and took like 1 strike in a return. And everyone's like,
Right.
oh man, that's so impressive. I can't believe he did that. And Khamzat's been wrestling his entire life. And then he fought last week. I don't know how to say his first 2 names, like Jun Young Park or something like that. I'm pretty sure he fought Khamzat, fought the guy Khamzat beat, trained wrestling for 6 months to a year, and did the exact same performance that Khamzat did. In my eyes, that means Khamzat's performance isn't as impressive if this guy can do it off 6 months to a year of wrestling and you've been doing it your whole goddamn life. Anyways, that just means the other guy sucks. But Beneil Dariush controls Ferguson the same way Charles Oliveira did, then that means Charles Oliveira's win wasn't as impressive to me. In response to that, I think Michael Chandler beat them either way.
So you have Michael winning on this one?
Yeah, I don't know what Charles can do to beat him. I don't think he's going to knock Chandler out. I don't think he's going to be able to control him. Chandler has incredible wrestling. He's got good knockout power. I'll even go as far as to say that Chandler might knock him out.
What round?
First or second. Under
First or
2.5.
second? Under 2.5? Fair enough. So, dude,
Yeah.
you and me are fully split down the middle of this whole fucking card.
Yeah,
I got
that's a tough one.
I got Charles winning by sub in the 3rd.
It's possible.
I got him winning by do I want Chandler to win? I do. Dude, he's from Missouri. I want him to get a W. Do I see him doing that? No, I don't. I think Oliveira is on a whole nother level right now. Like right now in his career, I think he's on a whole nother level. Being in the UFC for fucking 8 fucking wins. Fucking 8 wins in fucking UFC against savages. His last loss was against fucking Paul Felder back in 2017. You know?
Yeah, but
I don't think Chandler has been tested. I don't think he deserves this title shot. Yeah, he did. He did fucking run through fucking Dan Hooker, right? He did beat Dan Hooker, and Dan Hooker is a fucking monster, a killer.
Yeah.
I think that like Charles Oliveira deserves a title shot. Period.
Yeah.
Chandler should have fought.
Nice to see. I know what you're saying. It would have been nice to see Oliveira versus Dustin, maybe Chandler versus Gaethje. And then whoever wins between Oliveira and Dustin for the vacant belt. If Gaethje wins, he gets a rematch. If Chandler wins, he gets a title shot. I get it. Like we said, obviously Dustin went the money fight. Gaethje's coming off a loss. This is the one they put together. I understand Charles has been around forever. He has more fights than Chandler, and he's 3 or 4 years younger than him. But I just have a weird feeling that Tony fight, it was impressive as hell when it happened, and then now I was like, what? I'm thinking, watch Dariush control Tony the same way, and then Charles's performance isn't as good. Even without that performance, he's still really good. It's just that one threw him over the top. Chandler's a veteran of the game, man. Even though he hasn't been in the UFC very long, he's had great fights with Eddie Alvarez, Patricky Pitbull. Last time we talked about him when he fought Hooker, I did not do as much research as I should have. I knew enough, but I thought he was going to lose. And then now I'm just like, I'm very hype on Michael Chandler. I do like Charles. His great jiu-jitsu, really good unorthodox striking. Let me see the reach on this real quick. We got 74 inches to 71.5. So, yeah. It's gonna be tough, but I'm thinking I'm gonna go Chandler.
Fair enough. So we are literally split
Split
down the
down the
middle
middle. Yes, sir.
side. We'll see who gets this W, who's gonna move up. I don't have the paperwork with me right now, seeing how many wins I have and how many wins you have.
Yeah,
I
no
know
clue, brother.
we've been slowly after the beginning of the year we've been trending upwards, so that's always a plus. So we'll see how this goes. This is gonna either put us one of us all the way back or one of us all the way in
You're
the
right.
front. So
Exactly.
no idea what's gonna happen there. But guys, thanks for being there for us. Thanks for watching us. Appreciate all the likes and comments we get on the videos. Keep it up. We'll keep pushing out videos when we can. So see you guys on the next video.
Yeah, yeah. We will check you guys out for Rob Font and Cody Garbrandt. See you then.